I do want to bring in Chris Grollnek. He is with the Active Shooter Prevention Project to talk a little bit more about these shootings. Thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
What goes through your mind every time you hear about another one of these shootings? Because now, earlier today, we learned about the one in Yakima, Washington, and the search that is ongoing for a suspect.
Josh, thank you very much. I think it's a little bit disconcerting sometimes, especially for us, where we are in the murder business. We do study the application of violence and how it works, but really we're in the prevention business. For about 13 years, the experts that we've got together are number one in their different disciplines, whether it's speaking, teaching, preaching, whatever. But mostly it's about prevention, response, and options. And I think the frustrating part is when we got started in 2007, and then I was involved in active shooter in 2010, got my academic thesis written on the phenomenon of active shooters, and I started researching Run, Hide, Fight. It's a great model. Sometimes it's an empty vessel, though. So we need to look beyond that and kind of populate those three words because they're supposed to be similar to stop, drop, and roll. But unfortunately, if we run, we need to know where we're running. If we're hiding, we need to know where to hide. And if we're going to fight, we need to make sure we have something more than a crayon and a 5-year-old. And I think it'd be disingenuous to say these three shootings have taught us a lesson. I think we learned the exact same lesson for 24 years now since Columbine. We are kind of regressing. And the experts that we've brought together have really narrowed down that, prevention starts with training people. Use your mind. You don't really need a gun. Understanding what prevention and talking looks like, what leakage is, where in 2 out of the 3 incidents, I know for sure, but I'm almost positive the third one will do the same. There is something called leakage. The people told them and other people what they were going to do, and then they did it. And then somehow we're shocked that they did it. I think the shock is to the conscience of the dead people. And, our thoughts and prayers are with them, the families, the members, even the police that had to respond, the business owners. But whether it's workplace violence, such as Half Moon Bay, or perhaps domestic violence, Monterey Park, simple carjacking, robbery, gang violence, it really doesn't matter. The semantics don't matter. There's people dead. And we can stop this with technology. I mean, imagine outside that Circle K, right, where a camera, there's cameras outside. What if it had something called OmniAlert gun? And I don't sell OmniAlert, but what if it had gun detection software and it alerted everybody, and alert went out on your phone and said, hey, take shelter now, find a good place to go. And that's where the training prior to that incident takes place. Knowing where to go, knowing where to run, not having to fight, not having to get a gun. Or something called Swarm, which is a pattern, like a data collector. Everyone is a data collector with their iPhone, and they can live stream the information to the police. So when they're responding, because they're not the first responders, the people inside the event are the first responders. So how do we empower those people? Technology is just here. It's present. It's what's happening, and some basic training. I apologize to ramble, but I mean, there is a common solution.
No, it's definitely not rambling because it's a lot of great information that people need to know. So when you're talking about ways to prevent something like this, really just being prepared in case there is something of this nature, what do you tell people? How do you prepare for something like this?
I think the basis of our training starts with a very famous person named Greg Schaefer from the FBI's hostage rescue team. Your mind or your body cannot go where your mind has never been. So we start with the training from that premise. How do you prepare for the event? What to do in the unthinkable? It will be the worst day of your life. But also, this isn't an inevitable event. They're very rare. The media doesn't sensationalize them per se, but the shooters are empowered by these prior acts. So I don't think we need to stop reporting on them. I think we just need to promote there's better prevention out there, there's better response, and there's better options. We can shorten the time that police can respond, help them through the community, help the community through the police, and really build this nexus of control of prevention, response, and options. It's a new model. We built it out about 2 years ago, and it really is going to be, I'm prepared to make it the national standard. It's just getting the right audience together.
In a case like this, talking about, honestly, any of these shooting situations, the motive is something that a lot of people want to know, but talking particularly about helping yourself, saving yourself, preventing things of that nature, the motive isn't really important for people to know how to keep themselves safe, because in actuality, I would say, the answer is pretty much the same. Would you agree?
99.9% yes. And I think the shocking of the conscience of an event like this, police respond and it takes about 8 minutes for them to get there. So if you're the first responder or I'm the first responder as a civilian and the incident happens from 0 to 8 minutes, I need to be prepared to be by myself for 8 minutes. And do I really want to be with the shooter for 8 minutes? If I know I have a 97% success rate of running and not being shot, wouldn't I want to run? And if I'm not capable of running, perhaps I would know where to hide. But I can't just hide behind a chair because I'm going to end up shot behind a chair. That's where you find products, windshield, the only ballistic device is 100% effective. There are products out there, and I'm not selling products. I'm telling you, there are solutions out there. And my big theme is this. We stopped killing children in school fires 68 years ago because we made schools fire resistant, fireproof. We have a proven philosophy and technology system subset that can make these places active shooter resistant, from the Circle K to the dance studio to anywhere. And I think the difference would be, of course, you're going to have that percentage of things in open area environments, such as Half Moon Bay, where a lot didn't go right after the shot was fired.
All right, Chris Grollnek, Active Shooter Prevention Project. A lot of great information there. Is there anything else that you want to add about all of this before I let you go?
I apologize. I think we froze up. There's a lot that can happen. There's a lot that can happen. I just think that everyone should know. Go get free training. It exists.
All right, Chris. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us. I appreciate it.
Sorry, Josh. I appreciate you.